with Elias. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. How the heck is everybody doing? I had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. As you guys know, over the last couple of years, I have been fighting for, first off, just to see my daughter. And now it's going through, you know, like a custody battle, but I have my time with her. And so she is here now for 3.5 weeks. I went on Saturday to fly to Alaska, got her, like literally slept for one night and then back on the flight 8 a.m. yesterday morning. So my baby is home. She's at home right now with her brother, and well, she's still sleeping, but she's home. And so I'm really, really excited to have her here and just to be able to be with her and spend some time. We bought a giant, it's giant, literally probably fits like 20 people. I think you've seen, it's like a unicorn floaty. So we're gonna take her up to, yeah, right, Andrew? She's so excited about this unicorn floaty, and so is my lady. But I'm just excited and grateful for my family to all be in one space. So let's do this. I'm actually gonna turn it over to Adrian Reliza, excuse me. Adrian, I'm gonna have you bring us out on the field. I have a guest that's looking to get, okay, cool. So Adrian, I'm gonna turn it over to you to bring us out on the field. So on this beautiful Monday morning, bring us out on the field. And then once you do that, I want to go right into some of our takeaways from Sales Mastery. So Adrian Reliza, let's turn the mic over to you. Happy to see you.
Hi guys.
Bring the field.
Good morning. Good morning. This beautiful Monday morning. So as I mentioned earlier, when I got on the phone, I had such a great time in Vegas. I've been in the industry since 2005 is when I got licensed, and I've never done a multiple real estate event ever. I've always had excuses like I'm nervous, or, you know, I can't leave my kids, or I don't have money. But I made it work. I brought my kids with me. We had a great time. And I'm just glad that I was able to connect with, you know, other agents and network and learn from industry leaders. So I encourage, you know, mothers out there and fathers to go out, get out of your comfort zone, and you know, grow and learn from others. It's doing a lot for me, and I don't like public speaking. I get nervous and everything. I don't know why, because if you meet me, I'm super down to earth, and but just, I don't know, I don't like public speaking. So I am definitely getting out of my comfort zone in all sort of ways. So make it a great week, guys.
I love it. I love it. And you know, like there's a lot of us that are parents, and you know, this doesn't apply to everybody, but like mom guilt is a real thing, right? Dad guilt is a real thing. And so Adrian's like, you know what, if I am not the best person, then essentially I'm not the best parent. You know, when we do these things for self-improvement, self-development to grow in our lives, like the one thing that we want our kids to look at when we get older is like, mommy and daddy did whatever it took for them to be their personal best. And they showed me how to grow and always push my personal best, right? Isn't that one of the best legacies that we could leave our children? That, you know what, mommy and daddy did whatever it took for them to be their personal best. And we saw that, and it pushed me to be my personal best. If my son hears all the shit that I talk about for all these years to you guys, and in coaching, and the books that I read, and the messages I send to him, he'll know that dad was always trying to be his personal best. And that's one of the legacies that I hope to always leave with my children. So Adrian, I appreciate you sharing, and let's dive right in this morning, you guys. Before we go and get rolling, Andrea Lamadora, you have a guest on the line. You want to say a quick hello and introduce your guest?
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Yes, my girlfriend Juanita is on the line today. She is looking to start a new career and start a new journey. So welcome her to our room, please.
What's up, Juanita? How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good.
Where are you dialing in from today?
Oakland, California.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, I want to tell you something to expect from this group. All right, let's just lay some really clear expectations. Expect to be in an environment where you are not judged, Expect to be in an environment where people want to grow, and expect to learn something. And I'm not saying from me, I'm saying from one of your brothers and sisters on this call, you'll learn something. And so welcome, thanks for being here, and thanks for having your camera on this morning. So you guys, let's go ahead and get rolling. I want to hit you guys with some stats and some figures, and then I'm going to ask everyone if I can just go a little further. And I asked this for people in our session on Friday. Do I have the permission from the group just to dive a little bit deeper today? If that's okay with you guys, say aye or give me a reaction down below. Is that okay? Do I have permission to do so? All right, cool. Because even if you guys didn't let me, I would probably push the boundaries and probably just do it anyway. So, but I thought I would ask, all right? So I thought this was super, super powerful, and I wanted to share this with you. 30% of people do what they want on the days they want to, right? I feel good. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make my calls. I'm going to do the things that I want. I'm going to make a video because, man, I look good today. I have no blemishes. I am ready to go. So 30% of people do what they want on the days that they want to, right? Man, I feel fucking good today. I was going to create today, right? Now check this out. 70% of people do the shit that they don't want to do on the days that they don't want to do it. And I wanted to share that with you because it was shared with me, and I figured I would pass that on to you because I thought it was super, super powerful. The separation between successful people and the people that are not going to make it in this business are the ones that are doing the things that they do not want to do on the days that they do not want to do it. How many of you have ever created a video when you maybe didn't feel like you looked your best? How many of you have ever created a video when maybe you had a couple extra pounds on you and you said, you know what, I don't give a shit. This is me. I'm comfortable in my own skin and I'm going to create the video anyways, right? How many of you have been tired before and still made a phone call? Let's go a little deeper on this one. How many people have ever been hungover before but still showed up to something? All right. So the point is that the people that show up and do the things that they truly don't want to do on the days that they don't want to do it, those are the people that will truly separate themselves from the pack. You guys, there's days when I look at my calendar and I have 13 appointments and I might be hoarse. I might be tired. I might be drained. We all have personal shit in our life, but you know what I say? I'm going to do these things even though I do not want to do them. So I want you guys to remember that. And I want you to be cognizant of this. 30% of people do what they want on the days that they want to. That's the easy stuff. 70% of the people do the shit that they don't want to do on the days that they don't want to do that. That was powerful to me. So hopefully that hits home for you guys. And remember, I can make mistakes with consistency. When you look at this business, and we've been talking about this, and we'll talk about this over and over and over again, you guys just make a bunch of mistakes, but it's okay if you're consistent. Because if you are inconsistent and you make a couple of mistakes along the way, guess what? It's going to show up really big because you're not doing enough of it. So I don't think I need to beat that into all of you guys, but I want you guys to understand that consistency right now is going to matter more so than ever. A couple other notes that I have right now, and feel free to chime in if you guys have any thoughts, dialogue on this. Tolerance in the market. I don't know who said this, but I wrote it down in my notes and I figured I would regurgitate it the best I could to you guys. When you lead generate at the highest ability that you can, you no longer have to tolerate. And so I wrote here in big words, tolerance in the market. When you are faced with inventory issues, when you're faced with changing markets because of interest, or excuse me, because of interest rates, because of inventory and all the changes that are happening around us. When you're faced with pandemic and we're not allowed to go out and see people and do the things that we're normally supposed to be able to do in this business, you are now having to have a high level of tolerance for what is happening in the business. Well, if you said, no matter what, I'm going to lead generate at the highest possible level that I can, you no longer have to tolerate and become victim to what is happening around us because you're creating and continuing to create. So you don't have to live in like, well, I guess I'm just going to tolerate that. No, I'm not going to tolerate the market shifting. I'm not going to tolerate, I'm not able to go to open houses. I'm not going to tolerate these things because you have the ability to do whatever you want. You can create videos, you can send mailers, you can go all in on different avenues. And so tolerance, you do not have to, excuse me, when you lead generate, you no longer have to tolerate. A couple other things that I want to share with you, and I'm going to go into a story that I heard this morning that really was like, I'm going to put the link inside of the chat in just a moment here. And Ed Milet said this, and I've heard this over and over and over again, and it really stands with me. Let me ask a question. How many of you have goals on this call? Please raise your hand if you have goals, financial goals, real estate goals, as well as personal goals, developing your children goals. We all have goals, right? I think when we think about goals, we may not always hit our goals. And this is what Ed Milet said this morning. We may not always hit our goals, but know what we'll hit? Does anyone know what we'll always hit no matter what? Anybody have an idea or thought? Okay, cool. Hi, Eric. So we may not always hit our goals. And so, Ernesto, you hit it straight on. We may not always hit our goals, but we'll hit our standards. Ernesto, can you chime in on this, bro? Because this is really, really powerful. I know if you've heard this before, Tony Robbins taught me this years and years and years ago, and I keep on hearing it for some reason, reticular activator. But Ernesto, chime in on this, bro.
I'm not too familiar with Ed Milet, so I'm not sure exactly, but I'm also, a consumer of Tony Robbins. And one thing he says that everybody has a financial thermostat. And a lot of people have probably made similar money for like a long time. A lot of people get stuck. And if you start making way less money than that, like you freak out, you get uncomfortable. You have to like adjust the thermostat because you got to get back to the temperature that you feel comfortable at. And the opposite is true, right? Making a lot of money is actually really scary for people. There's a lot of people that fear what comes with success, the attention, the pressure, the stress, what have you. So everybody has an internal like standard or temperature at which you're comfortable at. And one way or another, you're going to keep getting that. So that's how I interpret kind of the whole standards and the financial temperature thing.
Totally. Because you might have a goal of hitting $200,000 a year and you didn't hit that. Well, it's not that you hit your goal, it's that you just met your own standards, right? Like if you are ruthless about this, if it haunts you, you're going to do that because you've raised your standards to achieve everything that you want in your life. I don't like, personally, you guys, I personally don't like goals. I don't like goals. What I like is I like the leading indicators, right? The leading indicators is the action. You know me, you guys, I'm all about the action, right? The goal is lagging. The leading indicators are the actions. And so you have to look at it and be like, okay, I want to make 200, I want to make 300. Well, get real with yourself and unpack all the actions that you're taking. Be like, are these really, really coinciding with this goal that I threw out there? Because at the beginning of the year, it was cool to set a goal. And now I have something written on a big old freaking board that I created. You got to back it up with right standards, right standards. Let me ask you guys a question right now. How many of you are reading or have read this book, The Power of One More? Okay, Joellen, I saw a big thumbs up. You guys, I want to share something with you because Ed Milet's name comes up all the time, but I haven't dove deep into any of his literature, and nor have I dove into any of his podcasts. However, I'm driving today. It was an hour and 37 minutes to get here. And I could have drove for another hour and 37 minutes and listened to the same podcast over again. And here's why. He talked about the power of one more. And I know that we have mentioned this before, and I want to share with you. I think when we look at what's successful, when we look at our bodies, when you look at people that are jacked, right? When you look at someone like, damn, you look at John Cheplack, right? John Cheplack, I think he's 55, 57 years old. Ladies, you guys met him. Gentlemen, you guys met him. The dude is straight jacked, right? But I believe that there's that separation in the one more. And that's why I think this book is really going to be life-changing for me. So imagine this. It's the one more rep in the gym, right? It's the one more contact that you made. It's the one more, you know what, babe, let me get one more kiss before I leave. Okay. It's the one more, kids, I just love you. Look at me, everyone in this room right now. I love you guys. I just wanted to tell you that I'm super grateful for you. It's the one more book that you read. It's the one more text message that you write. It's the one more video that you create, right? The power of one more. He said today, and I quoted this, on the other side of temporary pain, when you survive it, you meet your other self. This hit home to me more than ever, because how many people feel that they have grown in the last 10 years? Please raise your hand. You guys, when I look back at my 32-year-old self, there's so many things about that person and that Elias that I really did not like. And I'm okay with saying that and sharing that with you. When I think about like the inconsistent habits that I had in my life, the lack of gratitude, the ego, the actions that I was taking, the like selfishness that I was displaying in my own life, like I really don't like that person, right? And so on the other side of temporary pain, when you survive it, you meet your other self. Because a lot of times what happens in this business is people don't fight through all the shit that they're going through to see the glory on the other side. They give up too soon, right? This shit is going to be really, really hard, but I promise you, sometimes people make permanent decisions based on temporary conditions. Think about that. Sometimes we make permanent decisions based on temporary condition. This sucks. These phone calls are hard. Everyone rejects me. I can't get over this phone calls. Oh my God, I'm going back to a 9-to-5. They make a permanent decision based on what's happening temporarily. Because I promise you, if you guys are experiencing seasons where it's challenging in your business right now, it's okay. This is just a season. But you could either choose to say, you know what, this is gonna break me, and I'm gonna make a permanent decision based on temporary conditions, or I'm gonna meet my new self. How many people in the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 5 years, 6 months have met a new version of themselves? Please raise your hand if you've met a new version of yourself. How many people like that new version of themselves? Yeah, like what are some things that you've identified about yourself that you really, really like? If anyone wants to chime in on this, I think this is good context for conversation. Like who's met a new self and what are some things that you've learned about this new self? I don't know who that was. It was kind of breaking up. Anybody want to chime in on that?
I'll start.
All right, Chris Edwards, let's hear it, big dog.
I'm still having a struggle with it, but I have seen improvement. It's just holding myself accountable. I usually just if I'm not able to complete the task in time, and if it's too stressful, my former weak self would definitely tell myself, forget this. And now I've in this real estate, I felt challenges and I wanted to give up, but obviously I'm on this call this morning, so that didn't happen.
I love that. I love that. You're absolutely right. You're here. Who else? Who else has met a new version of themselves? Adrian, let's hear from you.
Well, as I mentioned, I'm all into self-improvement right now. I love those events. I mean, now I've scheduled myself for an event every month. So I'm going to Build 22 in Dallas next month. I won VIP tickets to the Women's Mastermind with Raquel in Scottsdale in September. Yes. And then I am going to book a mastermind, a follow-up boss mastermind in November. And it's all inclusive at the Cosmopolitan for 3 days. So another thing, I hate public speaking, but I started doing Toastmasters. So I started like a couple of weeks ago and did like one Zoom call because I was going to do it last week, but I was in Vegas. So I just started 2 weeks ago. What else? I'm just trying to get myself out there, really.
Listen,
no, I'm pissed off. I lost $250,000, right? From that worksheet that we did in Vegas. So it's all about my follow-up. I don't know. I can't do it all alone. And I need to give up control. Like they said, you need to give up control to gain control.
Wow. Let's give Adrian some love. Let's give her some light. Let's give her some energy. Because Adrian, prior to this event, let's, for the people that do not know, how many events did you attend and how long have you been licensed? So what was the year that you got licensed?
So I was licensed in 2005, and I've never done a multiple day event ever. I've made excuses. It was always expensive. I couldn't leave because of my kids. I felt guilty. And I didn't want to do it alone. I'm scared, I'm shy or whatever, but I need to stop, because I'm a people person. I love people, I'm down to earth. If you meet me, I usually will, I'm probably asking you multiple questions when you meet me because I want to get to know you. My brother's friends used to call me Barbara Walters, and that's who I am. But I've just been shy. I mean, I don't know. I guess being around kids, you kind of forget how to talk to other people, And I really wanted to be home with my kids when I started real estate. And, when I married my husband, I was like, all I want to do is do real estate and stay home with my kids, because I didn't grow up with my mom. I grew up with my father, and I saw my mom every other weekend. So when I started having kids, I just really wanted to be there for him and for them. And I really was, and to the point where I probably didn't do enough for myself.
Wow.
And so now I'm starting to do that. And I'm older now. I'm going to be 47 this year. And I need to open myself up and grow and make that $1 million like I know I'm going to.
Wow. You guys, like, I think V just said it. V just said you're public speaking now, but like, look at this and like own this moment. And you guys, like, let this be like inspiration for all that are on this call and the people that will watch this call in the future. 2005, she got licensed. She never attended a real estate event. Went to a 3-day mastermind last week called Sales Mastery in Las Vegas. And since coming back from that session, she's already scheduled 3 more events to go to. She's public speaking. She enrolled herself into Toastmasters so she could become a better presenter, because when you present at the highest level, all things will be fixed in real estate business. I promise you that. But that's growth, right? And Adrian, just so you know this, the old version of you is waiting for you right around the corner. But it's time to say, peace out. I have grown and I'm looking forward and I'm never moving back. So I love this. I absolutely love this. Michael Swanson, you had your hand up, brother. Let's hear from you. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I agree. And sorry, Jeff, Adrian, take that advice from Jeff. Take that advice that is in the chat and do exactly what he just said. Michael Swanson.
Yeah, I think one thing about my new self that I like is I'm a little more emotionally vulnerable. Coming up, it was like hard body don't show no emotion, don't let nobody know what you're going through. But I think being more emotionally vulnerable and opening up and allowing clients to open up and it really helped me like build a bond with clients. It's more than a transaction. Some of these clients, I've closed clients that we talk to like every week now, and we chop it up just to be able to have that emotional bond and stuff with clients. So I think that helps out, especially in business.
Man, I absolutely love that. And some of us, let's face it, some of us are hard-nosed. Some of us grow up in an environment where that's not really talked about, emotions and feelings. Some just, demographics of people, they're not really loving, right? My grandfather, old Italian man, died at 99 years old. I don't think my father or any of my aunts and uncles ever heard him say, I love you, ever. Papa was Papa. He sat at the end of the table, he ate his meatballs, he ate his lasagna, he didn't say much, he'd listen to Frank Sinatra, but he was never that person that talked about that, right? So my dad was super, super like over the top, love you, son. So, man, I appreciate you saying that. Let's go to one other person. Colette, you had your hand up. Colette, was that an old hand or a new hand? Going once, going twice. All right, cool, we'll keep moving.
Okay, sorry, guys. Just trying to flip it over. I was trying to turn my camera on. I don't know if it's on. I'm walking my dog.
It's not on, but let's hear from you. What do you have to contribute?
Okay. Well, I think what I found out in my 57 years, y'all that think you're old already, okay, is that life is just constant learning. I'm constantly working on my craft. I got plenty of it. I think that Watch out, come on. Sorry, managing my dog. But you know, patience is a challenge. It's been a challenge for me. I'm trying to working on it, but you know, I'm kind of a hothead. I can get upset about things or whatever. Trying to breathe through it, you know. I think that's my biggest ongoing lesson. You know, it's just understanding that the combination of patience along with persistence, you know, and jumping on that wave when you have the momentum, which I do feel like I'm finally catching a wave, you know, and on this team. And so just
Yeah.
want to, you know, put it out there that it definitely is it's never ending. You know, I'm always learning. I'm always trying to improve myself and you know, live up to the expectations that God has intended for me. Okay. Love you guys.
This. I love this. You guys, I want you to, when you have a moment, I want you to listen. And this is when you have the moment to listen and to feel. If you are in an environment where you're not going to be able to listen to the podcast that I just put into the chat, like do yourself the justice of actually sitting down somewhere or on your drive or somewhere where you just have an hour just to listen to it. And I promise you, it's going to hit home and it's going to really make you realize like, what is the one more thing that I could be doing in my life? What is the one more person that I need to connect with? What's the one more phone call? Like, what will my legacy be like? That podcast was one of the most powerful podcasts that I'd ever listened to. And I just really stumbled upon it. So every hardship and every difficulty and every trial and tribulation, every tragedy, when you have the fortitude to fight through it, you will find your other self. That's called growth, right? The person that I found over the last few years, let's say 10 years, is a man of discipline. Prior to that, I was not a man of discipline, right? I was a man of energy, and I think I've always been a man of energy, but I didn't know how to really direct that energy because I didn't really have the discipline. So my new self is really proud of the discipline that I have. And you know, when I look back at it, it's like tremendous amounts of growth. So I want you guys to know that on the other side of temporary pain, you'll survive it. You'll meet your new self. As hard as this shit's gonna get. He talked about losing his father, and like his father would always just tell him like one more day, and he stopped drinking. And he was just like, one more day. Like I have one more day to be a great parent, one more day to be a great man, one more day. And he asked him like, Dad, will you ever drink again? He's like, I don't know, but today I'm going to choose to be a really great dad and not drink. And it was powerful. My brother-in-law, and I'm going to share the story. I haven't told this to anybody. So his mom passed away last week, and she passed away in his arms. And a couple months back, he found out that his mom had cancer. And this is somebody that I've known in my life since I was 13 years old, and was unfortunately diagnosed with cancer, and it was really, really rapid. And so they put her on hospice, and you know, if you're on hospice, that means it's pretty much the end of the road. Well, he ended up in the hospital. He was drinking so much that he literally almost died. And the doctor told him that if he would drink anymore, that he was going to die. He tried to run out of the hospital to go get a bottle. And like, because he was just that sick, because he was trying to mask the pain that he was dealing with. And I had a call with him, and I had the most important phone call I think I've had with another human being. And I told him, I said, listen, man, I said, do not do this to yourself, because if it does, when it does happen, your mom's going to pass. You're not going to be able to deal with this emotionally. And you're going to feel so bad about this if your mom passes and you're not in the right state of mind. I said, you got to go get the help. You got to find sobriety. You got to get somebody in your corner right now that's going to shake you out of this, because when your mom passes, it's going to be the hardest thing that you've ever dealt with. And if you don't have the tools now to deal with that, man, I'm really worried about you. I'm really worried about you. And so he went 80 something plus days without drinking. And unfortunately, his mom passed, and he was there and held her as she passed. But he called me. He said, my phone has rang for the last 2 days. Over 40 people have called me to want to talk to me, to send their condolences. He said, he's like, I took your call because I knew how important me making that decision to not drink was, because I couldn't have dealt I couldn't have managed. I wouldn't have been able to be here for my son, for my stepdaughter, and for my lady. And so it was really, really powerful moment. Like, we have to take this step and say, like, what is the one extra thing that I could be doing in my life? The one more call, the one more important, task that I need to do. And so I want to share that with you. I haven't shared that with anybody else, but it was really, really powerful to see how much he had grew in just the last 80 days. Because he made a choice, right? And we never know what's going to happen. So live your life to the fullest with tremendous levels of gratitude, and really, really be open to the struggles that you're going to face, but be able to be in the right mind. So I want to share that with you guys. I wanted to have you guys write something down if you're an ability to write, and I want to talk to you guys about breakthrough. On Friday, we talked about repetitious boredom and doing the things over and over and over again that you do not like doing. Let me get some interaction here in the chat. How many people, let's list some things that you really, really get bored doing in this business. Let's just shift the conversation to your business. What are some things in this business that you're super cold calling? Okay, cool. Let's light it up. Cold calling, okay. Shockers. Let's hear some more. What are some things that you feel like are boring to you guys? And keep going. Let's just light it up. Emails, admin work. Yep. Paperwork. Yep. Totally. Let's keep hearing door knocking. Okay, cool. Paperwork. Seems like Georgie would like door knocking. Seems like that would be fun. Paperwork. Okay, cool. What else, you guys? Repetitious boredom was something that one of the top producers in the room said last week, and he did $100 million in production. $100 million in production is constantly traveling. You guys need to follow him. What was his name, Ernesto? Was it Brian? What's his last name?
Brian Danny.
There it is. Give him a follow, you guys. $100 million in production. So let's talk about breakthroughs and what's it gonna take for you guys to have a breakthrough over the next 90 days. And let's just talk 90 days and bite-sized chunks into your business. And these are things that you guys need to focus on. So formulation. So first thing first, putting your plan together. Like, if you don't know how you're going to be successful over the next 90 days, this is a time where you sit down and write some micro action items, right? You should know how many phone calls it takes in order for you to get an appointment. You should know how many phone calls it takes for you to at least get some engagement. You guys should be doing everything. I want to say this, and I want to say this clearly. You should be doing every single prospecting activity through Follow Up Boss. And why do I say this? I say that because you have the ability to go in and look at the metrics, right? Nkosi made X amount of calls, he made X amount of appointments, and he was able to record X amount of calls. If Nkosi is able to record his calls and then we listen to him in coaching sessions, do you think I have the ability to further help Nkosi? Totally. But if he says, yeah, no, I made the calls and I put them on Sisu. Let's get real, you guys. Sisu, I'm not saying anybody on this call, but Sisu leaves the opportunity for people to possibly fib on their numbers. I'm not saying anybody is doing that, but Follow Up Boss gives you the real accurate data. So formulation of your plan, putting your plan together, and that plan should definitely include the utilization of Follow Up Boss. Concentration. How many people struggle with concentration? Please raise your hand if that is you. Right? We're fucking squirrels sometimes, right? We're doing a task. I am going to prospect, right? Oh, hold on. Oh my God, that reel is so funny. Hold on, look like that. Oh my God. Hey guys, it's Elias. Oh shit, what was I doing? Okay, let me get to this. Hey Eric, what's up, bro? You're looking good, dude. All right, hold on. I'm making calls, talking about concentration. I'm just making some points here. So we all struggle with concentration, right? This is the area where most agents fail. 90 days of working your ass off. Okay, check this out. Give yourself 90 days of working your ass off without results. Okay, a lot of work without a lot of results. You have to stay committed. So concentration. Okay, ADHD. You guys, they tried to give me Ritalin when I was a kid. My mom said, no, that's just the way he is. She never put me on Ritalin. So thank you, Mom. So concentration, we go through that one more time. It's the area where most agents fail. 90 days of you working your ass off without any results. When you'd be prepared for that, right? And a lot of work without a lot of results, but you have to stay committed. How many of you have ever got into contract or got a new listing when you thought that maybe it was never going to happen? How many people have ever had that happen? Like it was months and it was months and it was months, like, oh my God, this is never going to happen. But you stayed committed, you stayed following up. Hey, Tom, what's that say? What did Ritalin made me say, hey, Tom, I'm just following up with you. Hey, Tom, I'm just following up with you. Hey, it's going to happen, Tom. And then all of a sudden it hit. Sometimes it takes a while, you guys, a while, but you have to stay committed. Momentum is number 3. So first one was formulation. Number 2 is concentration. Number 3 is momentum. You have to be able to gain momentum, but keep momentum. Kenny and I always talk about this when we're talking to teams and we're talking to team members. You don't want to always start out at a stop sign because it takes a lot. It's a lot on your car. It's a lot of grinding. It's like, oh my God, I'm like just trying to get it going, right? We want you guys on the freeway. And I don't care if you're in the slow lane, as long as you're on the freeway, you have momentum. But you will not have the momentum without doing the actions and having the discipline and staying committed. So number 3 is making sure that you guys have momentum. 4, stabilization, right? If for 90 days you were able to put your plan together, have the concentration, the discipline, and stay committed to that, you have momentum. The idea is in 90 days, you'll have stabilization. That means that, you know what, I can do this. I'm stabilized. I'm making 3 bits of content a day. Like my business is starting to grow and it's starting to stabilize. But what happens in this business? We do this. Cool. Yes. Okay, cool. Right? Oh, no. Right? It's this. It's this is what the fucking killer is. That is draining. Right? Oh my God. If I would have just stayed consistent with my scripts over the last 90 days, that I wouldn't feel like this was foreign to me when I get on a phone call. Because I promise you, if you guys crush a market conversation right now and you do that for 90 days, you'll get on the phone and have some swag. You'll have some bravado. You'll be like, what's up, Tom? Tom, well, let me actually share with you the reality of what's going on in the real estate market and drop some game, right? Instead of, I love this analogy, instead of shoes in a fucking dryer. Clunk, 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 clunk. Your presentation is on fire. Your presentation is spot on. Your presentation has rhythm, it has cadence, right? Because you've practiced that. So imagine this. You sit there and you say, I want to have a breakthrough in my business. Formulation, I'm going to put together a plan, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to have the concentration. I'm going to do the work for 90 days and I know that it's going to pay off and I'm going to stay committed even when I haven't seen the results. Even when I haven't seen the result. Do we stop parenting because our kids are doing bad shit and we're constantly saying, no, I do it until, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop doing that. Consistent. Having that momentum then will lead you to that stabilization. Because what I want is I want everyone to have that feeling in their business. But guys, I'm not telling you something that you've never heard before, and I'm not telling you something that I've never heard before. But everything in this business comes down to one thing. And what is that one thing?
Action.
Jim, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So you guys, you have to, if you want to break through in this business, repetitious boredom, 90 days of doing the monotonous shit over and over and over and over again. I've done these sessions now over 200 times, and somebody could think, well, it doesn't get boring, isn't hard to find new ideas and topics to talk about. No, because I fucking love it. I love you guys. And so I love the push it gives me to say, you know what? I got to level up. I got to do one more great session. I got to get one more person in this room, right? I got to deliver on Wednesday. So I have one more chance, right? I'm not thinking about Friday, just so you guys know. I was thinking about this morning, how can I deliver? And then on Wednesday, I'm thinking about one more session. And then I'm thinking about Friday. One more. Like you guys, I am all in right now. And how can I deliver the best for you guys in this moment? And then we'll continue to grow and continue to grow. So you guys, I want to share that with you guys one step at a time. I want to share the thoughts with you about Aaron and his mom. And I want you guys to remember that 30% of the people do what they want on the days that they want to. 70% of people do the shit that they don't want to do on the days that they don't want to do it. If you are facing a day and a time where, you know, God, I just don't want to do it, fucking get up, do it. Do it. Is there times where you maybe don't want to parent? I have both of my kids home, and Lily just got here yesterday, and they start in on the bickering. Well, Silas has that. Well, that's my toy. No, that's my toy. Instantly, right? Instantly. There's days as parents where maybe we just don't want to fucking parent, but know what we do? We step up, we parent, we discipline, and we stay committed because they deserve it, right? It's my first time. So we have to have that level of commitment. So we want to get some thoughts from you guys. I know that we've unpacked quite a bit of conversation today, but I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear where your mind's at, what you're thinking. And so a full stream of consciousness. I want to go around the room. I want to get a couple key takeaways. Sakia, let's go over to you. Key takeaways, where's your thoughts at? Let's hear from you.
Just earlier when we were talking about like the changes that we made, it was a change for me. I don't know if my audio is good or not because I'm driving, but it was like a real change for me to realize once I got into real estate that I'm really a nice person. And all the clients I come past, they always say that.
I've met you, Sakia, and I don't know if somebody else thought that you weren't a nice person, but you're a wonderful, beautifully pleasant person. Sorry if anyone ever told you otherwise, because you're absolutely a wonderful person. Cynthia, let's hear from you. It's weird. I'm looking at Cynthia. Right.
Oh, hey. What a trip. So this weekend I took time off to like actually instill some of the stuff that I learned at Sales Mastery. And it was amazing to sit down. I'm someone that definitely should have been on Ritalin when they were a kid and probably still should be, but I have to find ways to make myself sit down and be in that zone. And for me, brown music, it's called Brownian music. Brown music helps a ton. So I sat down, I had 5 hours of time where I was just going to focus on my business. I closed my office door. Everyone in the house knew Mama was working. It is quiet time. And I think I got more done in those 5 hours than I have in a long time when I was like, oh, you need help? Yeah, sure. There's an emergency at the listing. I'll be right there. Oh, you need something? Oh, you need this? Oh, hey guys, how's it going? I actually sat down and focused, and it was incredible. Being able to like just sit down and focus is really hard, but when you do it with intention, it makes it easier. And I just heard of an amazing meditation session today. I highly recommend it. It's by Jay Shetty, and it's about context switching. Even just picking up your phone when you see an Instagram notification, just seeing that notification turns your brain off from prospecting to, oh, I got a like. And it's like, wait a minute, no, we're here. We're not here. So just be really mindful of your notifications. Just be mindful, right? But turning off your notifications when you're prospecting and letting your family know, hey guys, Mama needs a minute. Like that to me was really helpful.
Cynthia, can you share with me what brown music is? I don't know what that is.
So brown music, it's like white noise, you know that?
Yeah.
Brown noise is like literally the second I put it on, it makes my sensory system go whoosh.
Wow.
It chills me the fuck out. Check it out. It's on YouTube. You just type in brown music. Or if you have Spotify, type in, brown music playlist. And it's just like a low humming, and it makes the, I don't want to say voices inside my head. That might make me sound a little crazy. but it makes all the extra jumbled just kind of like shh. Yeah, it's really helpful.
Wow, I absolutely love that. A couple things that you said, and then we come to the meeting in a second. Simon Sinek talks about this a lot. Like, say you're in a meeting and you're here meeting, and then you just put your phone down. Well, the fact that my phone is sitting right there, my mind is still thinking, well, I probably have some messages in there. Who's probably emailing me during this? And so it's like you sometimes are not 100% present. So I like this, Cynthia. I like that you said this. Like, try when you're in a meeting or when you're talking with your kids, when you're out at the park, like put it away completely. Take a walk to the park without your phone, right? So many of us are like, I can't walk to the park without it. Why? I got to get a video of that. I got to take, like, just put it in the drawer and like walk to the park, right? Walk to the park. I appreciate you saying that, Cynthia. Dameon, let's hear from you, big dog.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back from Vegas, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, so you struck a chord with me. My youngest daughter woke up at 3:45 this morning. And so I had already planned my week out. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be back in coaching all 3 days this week. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Then as the morning went on, I'm like, oh yeah, fuck that. I'm tired. I'm not doing anything. I gotta take the other one to school. But like you said, forcing yourself to do those things that you don't want to do is paramount, because my whole day could have followed that trend if I would have allowed it and not logged in this morning. But now I'm reeling from this call already. Like, when I get off, what am I going to do next? Let me check in with this offer that I just wrote yesterday. Let me check in with this other buyer that I was talking to the day before yesterday. Like, the way you set your day up is the way that it continues to follow, and the days to follow that. So it's just the trends that you put yourself on. And I'm glad you guys raised that topic today to remind me of that, of why it was necessary to log in. Even, I forgot her name. I'm sorry. I'm basically new to these calls again, but how she was saying, being a parent, you could come up with all these excuses to why you can't do this, that, and the third. But at the same time, the kids are your reasoning most of the time behind what you do. So you got to do the shit anyway, because you're doing it for them. So I appreciate you guys for these reminders. And it just helps me to stay on my game when I do actually log in.
Well, man, it was really good to see you. We had a really, really amazing dinner with Dameon and his wife in Vegas last week. And it was just cool just to break some bread and just like hang out. It was Dameon celebrating his 40th birthday. And so me, being the freaking jokester that I am, I'm like, NBA right here, NBA, because there's only 6-7 dude in the whole entire casino. And so we're walking through, I'm acting like I'm security. I'm like, yeah, we're coming to the West End, and like moving people out of the way. And Ernesto's behind me and he's talking like we're security. It was the funniest thing.
Luckily, all the NBA players that left like a day before. So I was the last one left, or so they thought. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Good times, so bro. Good times. It was wonderful laughing with you. Ophelia, let's hear from you. Takeaways from today's session. We don't have any audio for you. You took yourself off of mute, but we don't have any audio for you. Oh, she was going to say something really good too. Let's go to Ilona. Ilona, I know that you guys, hey, let's give a shout out to the parents in the cars with the babies in the background, all you people on the road. I see you out there doing your thing. Ilona, let's hear from you. Key takeaways from today's session. There we are.
Doing the boring things. Just pushing through it, and reminding myself that I tell my kid, you got to do these things every day. You got to put your shoes on. You got to eat breakfast. We do routine, and doing the same routine for me when I finally sit down and give myself that time and making the time, like blocking it out every day in my schedule and sticking to it, and realizing that the more boring stuff, the more it happens, the more I do it, the more it becomes part of my routine, and it might not be boring anymore because it's going to bring results. So, it's just like working out, and there's days I don't want to do it at all, but you know what? When I do, I feel better. I see results, and I am proud of myself when I get to that finishing point. So the boring stuff matters.
Totally. Absolutely. Absolutely love it. Let's hear from one other person. Let's hear from Ariana. Ariana, let's congratulate Ariana. She's been watching our journey for a while. She's sat on these calls. She's came to an event. She follows Daniela Lopez, and she made the decision to officially join our team. So let's give her some love, some light, and some energy. Ariana Morris, let's hear from you. Key takeaways from today's session.
Can you guys hear
We
me?
can. We can.
You can?
Yeah, I can. Loud and clear.
I'm still new to Zoom. Like, I'm still looking at you, so I'm like,
No, you're good. You're good. Rapid fire. Key takeaways from today's session.
actually, the prior point was like the consistency and stuff. I actually had a different effect. I had like the imposter syndrome. Like, I'm not licensed. What am I doing on these calls? Like, why am I on here? I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what they're talking about. Like, I can't relate. Like, I'm not, what am I doing? So that was like my biggest reason. Like, every day was a struggle. Like, I felt like an imposter on here. And now it's like, okay, I belong. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I wasn't in the chat. People were like saying things that I felt, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just felt like a shadow. Like, what am I doing on here?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's powerful. And how you feeling now?
Now I feel good. I really feel like I want to be more into the meetings, because I take a lot of things away, but it's like I feel like I can really apply them now. I have the time. I have the I'm ready. I'm ready to actually do it and not feel like an imposter.
Wow. I love it, Ariana. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you made this choice, and you're definitely going to grow over this next year. I promise you that. So you guys, I want to just say thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for attending. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for contributing. At the end of the day, you guys, like, a lot of the stuff is not going to be new. But what I want to do is I want you guys to reflect. I want you guys to think, and then I want you guys to say, you know what? I'm not going to make any excuses. Today, I'm going to do one more thing, right? If that means one more video, one more phone call, one more text message, one more follow-up, one more rep in the gym, whatever that one more is for you, then do that. What I want to encourage everybody to do is take that link in the chat that I put for the podcast. And I want you guys to watch that or listen to that when you guys can. It hit home for me. If I'm being completely honest, it actually brought me to tears, and it made me super, super emotional. It made me really look at life and reflect in a different way. So I want to encourage you to do that. Watch listen to that podcast, and then feel free to text me, feel free to Slack me, and let me know like how it hit home for you, because I think it's going to resonate with everybody a little bit differently. Cynthia, you had a new hand up, or is that a new hand or is that an old hand? No, okay, all right, cool. So do that for me, you guys, or do that for you. Listen to that podcast, and then I just want to have some open dialogue with you guys. If you want to text me or just Slack me and tell me how much that meant to you. So it's in the chat, Lajari. It's in the chat. I'll put it one last time, so it's here, but just grab that. It is in the chat. I just posted it one more time. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. For all of you boot campers, I'm looking forward to seeing you here in the new Hercules office. So you guys have some fun this week. Call somebody, let them know you love them. Life is really, really short. And so I'm grateful for you guys more than you'll ever know. So thank you for being here. Thank you for contributing. And thank you for your stream of consciousness today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace. Judith, if you could hang on, that'd be great.